To the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, which is a yarn shop here in Montgomery, Texas.
And I'm Ceili. I'm your Gen Z yarn guide here at the Modern Skein.
And we're about to have yarn trail.
Yes.
It's so exciting. So it kicks off officially tomorrow. It's about to be a whirlwind.
For sure.
We are open for... Well, it's longer. The trail itself is 8 days long, but obviously we've been open since Tuesday. So we'll be open on, if you're watching this, which you should be able to watch this before Yarn Trail's over. We will have extended hours on Thursday. We'll be open on Sunday from 11 to 5. And we will also be open that Monday, which is the 26th?
6th.
Mm-hmm. Yes. From 10 to 5. And then once Yarn Trail's over with, we will resume our standard hours for the fall winter of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So,
yay.
Yes. I was trying to get everything together today and realized I don't have any finished objects.
Really? Because I have 2.
Well, I had like 49 last
yes,
episode. So by all means, let's see your
all right, the most exciting one.
Oh,
are we ready?
Did you?
It's done! Surprise! Yeah. So here's my dad's Moby sweater. If you've been watching for a while, you know I've been working on this for forever. I think since like February or something like that. And I finally was able to finish it.
It's awesome.
And it looks so good. It's all blocked and nice.
It is.
And the cables
Look at that.
are gorgeous.
Stitch definition.
And I love it. It's just beautiful.
So good.
And my dad tried it on, and he is in love with it.
Awesome.
And I want to make one for myself. That hopefully won't take as long.
I mean, unless you want
it's going to be like half the size. I tried it on.
I
know, I tried it on just for fun, and it goes down to my knees. And the sleeves are like this much too long on me.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's very nice. I love how the yarn feels after it's blocked. It's so soft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it so much.
It's so good. It is.
It's
really
just
good.
gorgeous. It's the most beautiful sweater pattern ever. It's a perfect fall sweater too. Just the texture and the design, the pattern is just it's just beautiful.
And Scout does such a good job.
It really does.
With all the texture.
Mm-hmm. Because even for being a dark black yarn, like you can still see all of the texture. It's not hiding anything.
No. I mean, it may not come across that well on the, computer or TV or whatever you're watching this on. Oh, I hope people don't. But people do watch these on TV, so then we're like life size. That's weird.
That's really weird. Yikes.
Yeah. So you can see us in life-size glory.
Yeah.
See, I usually watch podcasts on my computer,
and
I don't always put it full screen, so it's like nice little compact.
Just small. Anyways, yes, so this is the Moby Sweater Man pattern by PetiteKnit. I think I did the size 2XL or 3XL. I don't remember.
I feel like, and this is stretching back a long ways, but I want to say you said 2XL in the beginning.
It was. Something like that. It is a dress on me. I'm sitting with it at my knees right now.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a cute
It is
dress.
really cute. I like it. I kind of want to make an oversized one. Yes. The yarn I used is Scout by Kelbourne Woolens in Charcoal Heather.
Which is back in stock.
Yes. We have just got a new restock of it.
Yes, we have a almost full restock of Scout. We have a good restock in Mojave. Both of those have been very popular. Well, Scout's a bestseller in the shop, but Mojave's been super popular because a lot of patterns have dropped over the summer in Mojave.
Yes.
So most colors, there's still a few that are back ordered, but most colors are in. we've got you sorted on that for sure. But yeah, we've got a good variety. I mean, there's still a few colors, like Ocean is out of stock. I think we might have one skein left of Scout. Some of the purples are still, like Plum, I believe, and Wisteria, I think, are the two purples that are still back ordered. And one of the new colors, we should, well, by the time this goes up, I don't think the new colors will be in stock, but after Yarn Trail, for sure, I would think they would be coming in. So we're actually getting a true black. So the new colors that, let's just diverge slightly, the new colors that are coming out are non-heathers. They're solids. So we're getting a true black, a true red, a color called Denim, which is going to be closer to like the blue heather. So not a gray heather. I mean, it's hard to tell from the picture, but not like a navy either. So there's supposed to be a chartreuse, a forest. There's a real pretty, I don't remember what the actual name is, but it's like reminds me of like a boysenberry kind of color.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And what else? A goldenrod, like a soft, because there's sunflower heather, but then this will be like a true goldenrod. Something else. I think there's 7 or 8 of the solids. So they're all listed on the website currently with placeholders. They just show out of stock, so you can see the colors if you are interested and watch for them to get back in stock or be in stock for the first time. You can also sign up for notifications on anything that's out of stock now, and if something is showing out of stock and not allowing you to say sign up for notifications, please let us know, because it should be working on everything. But that will send you your choice of either an email or a text message when that product is restocked. And it is very helpful for us to know what you guys are actually wanting, especially in terms of yarn and other notions and everything else, but especially helpful on specific colorways, maybe specific bases that we didn't think were as popular, but if you guys are all wanting them, we'll try to do our best to get them back in stock. So it is very helpful for you to sign up for notifications for us and for you. So that was my little rabbit hole. It's not a new finished object, but I will talk about what I'm wearing since I don't have a finished object. This is very old. If you are a longtime viewer of the podcast, I think I knit this in, it was either 2019 or 2020. Don't remember which, but one of those. So this is the, and I'll show you, Breezy. Is my back on there?
Yes, you're good.
The Breezy Racerback tank. Breezy Racerback? It's either Breezy Racerback or Breezy Racerback Tank by Jessie Maed. I did a little fade, as you could maybe tell, in 3 colors. This was ages ago. This is Chelsea Luxe yarn in Stiletto and Jeans, some Plume, and Leopard. Wow.
That's impressive.
I can remember useless things. Let's see. Loved this pattern, and honestly, this tank just got put away, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. Found it a few weeks ago, and was like, I need to put that in my rotation again. So pulled it out, and I really, after wearing it all day, it's not all day. It's for several hours. I have determined that I think I want to knit another one of these.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know what. I think maybe more of a solid. This is kind of speckles and faded. I think a solid. But this would be super cute going into fall, because then I could just put like a light jacket on top, or like even a denim jacket or a denim shirt on top if it's a little bit cooler. I like it. So planning on maybe another cast on one of these days. Okay, and you said you have a second?
Yes, I have one more.
Ooh.
Another sweater. I finished my yarn trail sweater.
Yay!
My little blue and yellow sweater. This is the Good Willow pattern by Allison Cribbs. And yeah, it just looks so nice now that it's all finished and blocked.
Texture.
Yes, so it's a really nice cable rib pattern. So
Beautiful.
Pretty. It's got it all along the sleeves and down the back and everything. Just gorgeous.
Very nice.
Yeah, and this is in Ulysse, and I just love how it feels. I was a little bit worried at first when I first got the yarn because it was a little more rustic feeling, and I'm not really a fan of rustic yarns, but it's so nice now that it's all blocked. It's so soft.
I will say that's a thing if you're not sure about rustic yarns. For one, feel a sample that's been blocked, which obviously if you come into our store you can touch and feel. Pretty much every yarn has a sample somewhere. But if you can't ahead of time, knit you a swatch like you should. Go fully wash and block it, let it dry, and that will give you a much better representation of what the yarn will feel like next to your skin. I know some people who especially have like super sensitive skin, they will go as far as knitting those swatches and then like tucking them into a bra or waistband and wearing them around the house just to see if, after 30 minutes, it's bothering me. I got to take it off. Or it's like, I forgot it was even there. That's can be a really good gauge. Gauge swatch has multiple meanings. If you are comfortable with a non-superwash or more rustic yarn next to your skin. And I will say, this is a trick that I learned only maybe a year ago. But people that this is going to sound so weird. If you regularly moisturize your skin, which we all should be doing anyway, you have less issues with rustic yarns. I know that sounds weird, but it has to do with like dryness, getting irritated with that
catching
and
dry
prickle.
Skin,
So when in doubt, moisturize. For a multitude of reasons. But you know, that's my soapbox on rustic yarns because I love them.
So yeah, I already went over the pattern name. Ulysse and Nuit for my blue color, and then I used a little bit of Spincycle dyed in the wool in Strawflower. For my color work. And this, I think I covered this last time too, but it really only uses a tiny, tiny bit of Spincycle. So if you have a little bit left over from a previous project, this is perfect. If you just want to do a good fall project with just that tiny bit of Spincycle that you have left over.
I want to say you would for sure have plenty after knitting like a shift cowl. Even if you had to piece together, like if you knit extra repeats or something like that. But I've had at least about a grand total of 15 to 20 grams. Maybe not in one ball, but between the three of them left after all my shifts. So you should be good with that.
Yeah, that's plenty.
I would say even like a striped lei bandana you probably will have, unless you purposefully use up every single bit of the yarn, you should have enough left over to do something like that, which would be really cute. And of course you don't have to use Spincycle. If you've got some sport, honestly, if you wanted to use up fingering weight, you could just hold it double for that little bit of color work. It's not going to be a huge factor. Perfect. Gorgeous fall sweater.
Beautiful.
Okay, so moving on to whips.
Yes.
And fall sweaters. And
all the things.
All the things. Rhinebeck sweaters.
Yes.
Everything. So, as you all know, if you've watched the last podcast episode, Oh, I suppose this is post-flock. I should say a little something
probably...
about flock. I just saw my flock pin in there. So we had, let's full 180 degrees. We had a fabulous time at Flock Fiber Fest. So I went helping Josh, Red Stag Fiber, vend at his booth. It was fabulous. Got to meet in real life a whole bunch of really awesome people. Sam from Lavender Loon is amazing, and we got to shop the Spincycle booth and enable each other on Spincycle purchases, which was great. We will be having a trunk show for her. I know I mentioned in Instagram it was September, and that was wrong. We have her scheduled for October, so that has been corrected. But we'll be having a trunk show of her amazing Lavender Loon yarn in October. I'm also actually, well, that has nothing to do with flock, so we're going to bypass that. Back to flock. Singular focus here. We just had a fabulous time. The weather was amazing. I know locals were saying it was hot, but it was fabulous. I wore my midsummer tee, which is right here behind me on the mannequin, one day, and was not hot at all. That is by Caitlin Hunter, by the way. And then got to, of course, say hi to the spinsters, the Spincycle ladies, Rachel and Kate, and I got to meet Micah, so the three of them are the dyers behind all the fabulous Spincycle colors. What else? Of course, got to see Max and Vincent again, and Carmen, and we had dinner with them, which was fabulous. And let's see, got to meet Kevin and Ray of Needles and Ready podcast. We've been going back and forth in emails and DMs and everything for a while now, but got to meet them in real life, which is always fun. And then, okay, so I sometimes watch episodes of podcasts while I work. Sometimes even in the shop, especially if it's quiet and there's no one else in here, I'll put a podcast on. And it just helps me get through my little, emails and all the things.
Right.
And especially inventory stuff. And so I put on Kevin and Ray's podcast at Post Flock Podcast. And so they're talking about, meeting all these people, and then they talk about Red Stag Fiber and all that stuff. Yeah, it was really cute and everything. And then they're like, we got to meet Sharon, and Kevin's like, yeah, I watch your podcast. And I was like,
wow.
What? So Surrey apparently would like to say hi. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi. She's like, do you see what they do? Do you see what they put me through? So that was kind of a squeal moment for me as well. But I had a lot of you guys come up and say that you watch the podcast, which really means a lot. Or you say you watch the IG Lives, you like the newsletter, just all those sort of things. It really does mean a lot, because a lot of times I get here and I don't want to film a podcast. I don't want to do a live. I don't want to write the email. It just, sometimes it's just so much to do and everything, and I just don't want to do it. But hearing that people actually take the time to watch, to listen, to tune in, to read a newsletter that I write, it really warms my heart. And I thank you for everyone who came up and said that. And FYI, if you want a picture with me at any event that you ever see me at, please just say you want a picture, because I don't mind one bit. I feel weird asking you if you want a picture, but it does not feel weird to me if you ask me for a photo. So, just putting that out there. But anyway, Flock was fabulous. I also got to meet in real life. Technically, we think for the second time, because I'm pretty sure I met Rachel at VKL. But Rachel and Martha, and I believe it was Becca at the booth. I don't remember the other sweet gal's name. but got to meet them from Ritual Dyes, which was fabulous. And today should be the day that the trunk show arrives, because I panicked yesterday thinking it was lost.
No.
Yeah, I did, and sent way too many panicked emails to them. So, yeah. But we think we know exactly where it is, and that it should be delivered today. So, fingers and toes crossed that it actually comes. What else? Who else did I meet? Oh, I met one of our awesome customers that we chat with every now and then on the phone and sends us orders. Pat from Seattle. So, hi, if you're watching. It was great meeting you. It's always lovely to put a face to the names of the orders that we get in the shop. And, yeah, it's just fun to meet other people. I had great food in Seattle, by the way. We ate at this Italian restaurant one night. It's downtown. It's like across from the Seattle Public Library, and it begins with a T. It's like Tourbillon, Toodaloo. I don't remember what the name of it was, but, was it fabulous. They had a butternut squash. It was a butternut squash and something stuffed ravioli that I ate. Wow. Oh, it was so good. I'm a sucker for like Trader Joe's butternut squash ravioli or tortellinis. Oh, so good. So good. Yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
I know. We also ordered, it's like we don't usually order dessert very often, but Josh was like, it was called something very obscure, like chocolate pot de creme or something like that. And so he was like, that sounds so interesting. Like, I'm expecting just a pot of chocolate, you know, and so we get it. And it did look like a pot, you know, like the size of that candle, you know, just a little 8-ounce glass jar with chocolate. And so, but it had like a little bit of maybe like a whipped cream and a little chocolate shaving on top. That was the best chocolate. It was more than a mousse, but it wasn't like a pudding. It was more mousse than pudding, but it was richer. Oh, it was just best thing ever. Like, we were both like, if we keep eating this, we're just going to make ourselves sick. It's so good. But anyway, if you're ever in Seattle for Flock, maybe next year, hint, hint, you might see us, and we'll probably be eating a chocolate pot de creme from the restaurant by the Seattle Library. I also forget how hilly Seattle is, because I've been a few times. Oh, my calves ached 4 days. Not from standing at the show, from walking the hills. I mean, I think my phone said I gained, like, over the course of, you know, all the different hills, like 700 foot of elevation, like whatever that was. Yeah. Crazy. So yeah, all in all, Flock was fabulous.
Awesome.
And I think we'll definitely be back again. And yeah. I'm hesitant to share something else.
Oh boy.
I know. It's another event that not the Modern Skein, but Josh just got into. I won't share on this episode, but there's another fall event that I will be seeing you guys at. So, stay tuned. Now let's talk about whips, now that Suri is comfortably settled next to us. Speaking of fall,
oh, yes.
Fabulous.
It looks so good. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so I have one sleeve done. I haven't steamed the sleeve yet, so it still looks a little wonky. But I have my second sleeve picked up, and I didn't actually knit any more of it because I wanted to show you, since I steeked it. You can go on the Modern Skein Instagram, and I saved it to a highlight called Framed Steek. And you can watch me cut my knitting on camera. People get freaked out about it. I wasn't freaked out about it. But now, am I the neatest and prettiest in securing my steeks? No. but it's secured and it works for me, and it's on the inside of my sweater, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
So this was cut, folded inside out, and so you can just see here where I basically like whip stitched this secure. I was gonna break out my sewing machine, and then I didn't really want to deal with it, so I didn't after all. That would have resulted in a neater look. Probably should have done that, but I didn't. So I just whip stitched it with more of the Ulysse yarn, because the Ulysse will end up with the friction sticking together and kind of felting. If I had a needle felting tool, I would have needle felted it first, but I thought I had a needle felting tool in block. I searched in the time I could have used to set up my sewing machine, I spent the time looking for the apparently non-existent needle felting tool. That was my first choice to secure steeks. I've seen several other people, and especially if you're using a non-superwash yarn, it is fabulous. That being said, since Spincycle is not a non-superwash yarn, it may not have worked as well as if both yarns were non-superwash. So bear that in mind if you're doing it. But I just love the look, because now it makes it so seamless. There's no jog where you join a new skein of Spincycle for the back or the front. It's just so nice. And then I did my sleeves according to the pattern. Well, no, I didn't. I did not. Okay. I never thought I was kind of particular about how things lined up until this sweater. Because in the pattern, you can see this lines up and this lines up. In her pattern, this would have been offset by 1/2. So that the top would have been not the half, and then you split the bottom. And that seemed, I don't want to call her pattern stupid, but I changed it to match up the motifs. I just feel like it's much more visually pleasing. Really? Do you need to bite that? So other than that, so technically on the underneath of my sweater, I have 2 of these quilt blocks that don't alternate colors. So there you see dark star, and in her pattern you would have had half a dark star, half a light star. It's at the end of the day, it's, do you want to fiddle with the pattern or do you not care?
Yeah.
The only other thing that I have made sure of is that when I reach the ribbing color, is that my Spincycle is ending in basically with at least part of it being dark blue. So why don't you fall on me? That it looks like it's continuous. So it doesn't look, I don't end with like a pink section or a light teal section and then go into the dark. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I did the same thing on the sleeves. So it ended with this darker blue section and then into the ribbing. For me, that just gives it a little more continuity and lets this be less bold. It looks, it's not a contrasting color. So some people pick a total contrasting color, and that's perfectly fine. I didn't want that much of contrast.
Right.
I think I did everything else according to the pattern. No, I didn't. So I did the 3-needle bind off, but I did a flat 3-needle bind off, which is popularized by Brooklyn Tweed and Pearl Soho. So if you do a traditional 3-needle bind off as her pattern shows, well, for one, your the way she has you start, one sleeve will look like, one sleeve the stitches will go in this direction, the other sleeve they'll go this direction, which again apparently now bothers me. So I made them both slant away from the neck. I don't know if you can see that. And I chose the flat 3 needle bind off method so that you don't end up with a ridge on one side, like the back side. So with a flat 3 needle bind off, it is flat. There is no...
It lays nice and flat on your shoulder.
It lays totally flat like a braid. It's my preferred method of 3 needle bind off pretty much on any pattern that calls for it, unless you're doing it like on the wrong side and then you don't see it.
Right.
If it's visible, I like the flat one. You can just Google Pearl Soho flat 3 needle bind off and you shall find a video. It's very easy. There's just one little extra step that you do. Other than that, there are no other changes to the pattern. So I'm loving it.
It's so beautiful.
I tried it on before I picked up these stitches and it fits fabulously. So I have a Racerback sweater.
Yay!
Or almost. I will by the next podcast.
Yes.
What are you working on?
Well, now because I finished 2 sweaters, I haven't really been working on my whips as much. So I really only have 1 whip to show today.
Okay.
And that... Oops.
Sorry.
Let's see. And that is my Irene Slipover.
Oh, yes.
So let me untangle all everything. So I have finished my back section here, and I picked up stitches for the left and right shoulders. I knit those down and I joined them in the front. So I'm working down the front section here until it's the same length as the back, and then from there I'm going to go and knit all the way down the body. Sorry.
That's not...
It's not nice.
Professional.
Oh, and your
Jeez.
goodness. So the Irene Slipover is this really cute little slipover vest. I think it has a crew neck, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
And it has this really cute dip stitch pattern with a little pearl ridge stripe. And I'm loving the pattern. It's so pretty.
It is really pretty.
I've just really been loving textures in sweaters and vests and stuff like that lately. And yeah. Very nice. I don't remember exactly what I did, but for some reason, somehow I think I messed up one of the shoulders and I had to completely rip it out. So I think I'd gotten like about this much further down the front, and when I realized, I think I had knit a few extra rows on one side, so one side was slightly longer, one shoulder. So I had to completely take out the front and that one shoulder. Well, not completely that one shoulder, but I had to take it out and reknit it, so that was fun. Not. But yes. That's really the only whip I've been working on, other than my 2 sweaters.
Very nice. Well, I have only worked on 2, and not that often, because honestly at Flock we were so busy. Could not do hardly anything. And I did knit what I'm about to show you mostly on the plane out there, but then our plane back was at like 1, it got delayed. It was like 1 a.m. in the morning, so I was trying to sleep.
Yeah.
But I am working on my Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter. Just look at that texture. It's so good.
Love it.
So this is one of her patterns, her newest addition to the Knitily series. Just look at that.
It's so gorgeous.
So good. And I am knitting it in Dachas sock in the colorway Edinburgh Castle. And I love it. So I basically just knit this repeat until separating for sleeves. I need to go back and look at how long I actually need to knit it. I know longer than this, but I do need to look and see how many inches. But yeah, I love it. The stitch pattern is super repetitive, super intuitive. So I haven't really had to look at like charts or anything like that, because it's a very simple repeat, but it gives you a very intricate look. And this stitch, which is, she calls it, I think, the knot stitch, maybe. Very easy, and it kind of looks like a cable, but it's not. So if you're freaked out by cables, don't be, because technically there's not a cable in it. So I will be knitting this to pattern. I'm not going to do any modifications, like I'm going to knit the sleeves the way she says it, all the things, because I just like it.
Yes.
As is.
Such a good pattern.
It is. And I know Kathy's knitting one.
Oh, yeah.
She is. I don't know who else is knitting one, but it's a good knit. Let me show you the other knit that I've worked on. And I don't have much, so I brought the iPad over to show you what I'm actually going to be making. So whoops, wrong button. I picked up some yarn at Flock. Surprise, surprise. And it was Ritual Dyes, Maiden, and it's fabulous. But I am going to knit the Luxe Tea by Ozetta. Yes, Luxe Tea. I had to double check. So I knit the Luxe pullover, which is like her sweatshirt version. And this is basically like a short sleeve sweatshirt, and it's fabulous. Fingering weight, and I love it. And look at this color.
Pretty.
Okay. Before you're like, Sharon, it's black. It's not. It's called blue black. And it's fabulous. So this is from Ritual Dyes. I don't know why I've never ordered it, but don't worry, we're gonna remedy that in the next ordering window that they have, because this is fabulous.
Yes.
This is my little shoulder piece. Look at that.
So
you just
pretty.
get that little bit of lighter blue specks in there, but then it's mostly deep dark and almost black. Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
So good. I can't tell you how good this is. It's fabulous. So, that's going to be the Luxe Tea, like I said, by Ozetta. My phone is starting to blow up, which I figured it would today. And yeah, I'm going to try to have it finished by DFW. It's a t-shirt. It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the Stromboli needs to be finished by DFW. The Luxe Tea, Stromboli has to be done. Luxe, I would like to be done. Obviously, the framed one will be done, but we shall see. Because, I might cast something else on.
Yeah.
It's fully within the realm of possibilities, for sure. Like I said, we're going to wrap up because, I didn't say that, but like I said in my head, we're going to wrap up because it's about 10 o'clock and we have like 101 things to do to get ready for Texas Yarn Trail, which starts tomorrow. So we're super excited if we're going to be seeing you at the trail or on the trail. And if not, we will be working very hard to get the trunk shows also shoppable online. So there might be a slight delay, and that's our balloon delivery coming in. So anyway, I'll wrap this up. You can find out all the details on our email newsletter, and of course watch our Instagram. We're going to go live a couple times with the trunk shows and all the fun things. And yeah, it's about to get crazy. Yes. So it's the fall, y'all. Sweater weather.
Woo!
It's 102 today.
Yay!
Sweater weather. No, seriously, it is actually the hottest week of the year for us. So
perfect timing.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's the week of yarn crawl. Make those sweaters.
Yes.
Do it. We'll see you guys soon. Bye,
Bye.
guys.